So here we are, celebrating my new cookbook on how to use the Fullstar Vegetable Chopper very effectively. It has tips on how to use the Fullstar Vegetable Chopper, and it has lots of recipes that really make the Fullstar Vegetable Chopper shine. Ways you can really use it to speed up your kitchen life to make things easier with great tasting recipes. So let's get started with one of the recipes from my new book for a chicken pot pie with only one crust. Okay, to start with, we're going to prep our vegetables, but it's not going to be as hard as you might think. So we're going to have the aid of the Fullstar Vegetable Chopper. So we're going to use what's called the fine dicer. This is what we're going to use today, as we want our vegetables nice and small, make them cook faster and cook better for the row that's going to happen. So we're going to use this to chop them up very quickly into a fine dice. It won't take as long as if you try to chop your onion all by yourself, but there's still some prep work involved. We're only going to use half an onion too, so we have plenty of onion for what we want. So we're going to use half onion, so I'm going to look at the onion very closely, go like where the grains are right there. We're going to cut right across the grains. That's important, that's going to help you when you get to the Fullstar Vegetable Chopper part. There's the other half, wrap it in foil. Save it for another dish. Alright, after a quick onion wash, we're going to set up to use the Fullstar Vegetable Chopper. About a third of the side, and about a third of the side. Why am I doing these thirds? Well, as you look at the onion, you can see those ridges right there. You want to cut right through those ridges in the chopper. And to make these work as well, you want to make sure the ridges lie almost close to parallel to the chopper as you can. I guess you have some long strips, but if you take the third off and rotate it, you're going to wind up with nice, small chops. And that's what we're looking for. Don't be afraid to give the Fullstar vegetables some force. Use the two sides. And I like to pound it. Takes a little bit of force. And we'll take them. So let's take a look at those. See all those nice small bits. Beautiful, nice small bits. That's because I rotated that third of the part of the onion on the side. If you're chopping the full onion, you'd first chop it in half, and then do the same thing to the other half. Take the top part, keep it full. One quick pound, and now you have a half an onion all chopped. Very quick, do not have to do anything else. It's very fast. To that, we're going to add celery and carrots. Alright, after washing and deveining our celery, what we need to do is make sure the celery will fit on the grid. So usually that means for every celery stalk, I'm going to cut into thirds. Rather than taking all that time to chop them up small, take your 3 celery stalks. 3 at a time is fine. You could do more if you want, but 3 at a time. Good little pound with the hand. Now you don't have to pound as I do. You could, what they say is, I guess you can't. Put in your 3 celery stalks, they're in there. Bam. And you can see the celery is all chopped into fine bits. Just like the onion. Small bits, very beautifully, especially good as well. This is perfect mix right here if you're gonna make some stuffing. So we've got our washed carrot. Washed and peeled carrot, cut off the ends. So the smaller part, this part, I'll put that straight in the chopper. But when I get to the thicker part, it'll make for some thicker cuts, so I want to slice that part in half. Now a carrot is you get them all about the same thickness or so. That's not going to fit, so we're going to cut that in half as well. And since it's a really hard vegetable, we're going to have to smash it down like the others. Now you could have cut those in half for even smaller pieces, if you like. Now you can see those carrot pieces that we just made. So we're going to be using these 2 cups here for vegetables. We're also going to add another 2 cups of frozen vegetables. So our vegetable prep work is done. We are done with the Fullstar Vegetable Chopper. The other frozen vegetables are already small. Peas, corn, green beans, not necessarily for chopping. So those are the other mixes we're going to use. What else we're going to use though is chicken. We like a vegetable heavy, so we're going to do about 2.5 cups of chicken. This specifically is Costco rotisserie chicken, pre-cooked, just the breast meat. A very good meat to use. So we're going to measure out 2 cups of this after chopped, actually. So we got the chicken here. Let's see if this is about 2.5 cups. That's about 2.5 cups of chicken. We'll set that aside. Now we have finished all of our prep work for the vegetables and the chicken and the meat. So we are ready to start cooking. Follow me over to the stove. If you're liking this video so far, please dice that like button to shreds. It really helps support the channel. Also, I have now published a Fullstar Vegetable Chopper companion guide, which includes some of the tips and tricks that we have here today that I'm going over, and some more as well as 26 recipes that I have found that I used with the Fullstar Vegetable Chopper with all the color pages. So if you're interested in buying this book, there is a link to the Amazon page in the description below in both a paperback version and a Kindle version. Also, if you are really interested in buying the Fullstar Vegetable Chopper, there's a link to that in the description below as well. Preheat your oven to 425. We're using a skillet. Medium heat. Butter in. 1/3 cup of butter, gonna melt it. If you want to melt it fast, you can cut it up. Nice little 1/3 cup of butter, gonna melt it all the way. 2 cups of vegetables. Gonna cook those for about 2 minutes. To that, we're gonna add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Kosher. Since our chicken stock is gonna be salty, we don't need that much salt really. 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Fresh ground pepper is best. 1/3 cup of flour. I'm gonna blend it all together. Alright, nice and blended. Gonna start gradually adding chicken broth. 1/2 cup of milk. And 1/2 cup of milk. So keep adding the broth and the milk till it's bubbly and thickened. Time to add in the chicken and vegetables. Then remove from meat. Alright, now we have a nice thick chicken pot pie filling. So let's prepare our casserole dish, shall we? We're just going to spray the inside. Casserole has been greased. Time to add the filling. Spread it out nice and evenly. Now to take out a pre-made pie crust. Nice and thawed, ready to go. So my pie crust won't behave. So here's what you do with the pie crust. Gonna re-roll out the pie crust. You can make your own pie crust. We're just gonna take theirs, fold it over a bit, re-roll it the shape we want. That shape. Let's see. Re-roll it to the shape we wanted. Ah, look at that. And beautifully cover over chicken pie mixture. Finishing touches. You need to go ahead for a goldener, crispier crust. a nice egg wash. Now brush it with an egg. 1 egg scrambled. Beautiful. 1 nice thin layer of egg on it. Well, half an egg really, which you can use to cook something else. And don't forget to make slits to cut into it. Let the steam escape. And there we go. A beautiful chicken pot pie casserole ready for the oven. Into the oven we go. Start with the 20-minute bake time. Take a look at it. If the crust needs to be covered, it's getting too brown, go ahead and cover it up. Then finish up the rest of the cooking after that. So 20 minutes, let's take a look, see how it looks. It's a nice and golden brown as we like it, so we're going to cover it with foil and then continue as is. Cover with foil so the browning will not be as much. Now it's time to set another 15 minutes and it should be ready to eat after a 5-minute rest. Alright, so here we are. 15 minutes later, after I put the foil on, you can see a beautiful, nice brown crust. This is the result of our chicken pot pie casserole dish with a beautiful crust on top and a tasty pie filling inside. Let's see what my kids think.
How would you eat?
The vegetables are nice and soft, which is what I like. Hence, I don't. The carrots are really soft, which is really good.
I like this heavy chicken flavor. You don't really taste the vegetables at all. And the crust is soft too, which I like.
The crust is well cooked.
You don't even taste the onions either, which is good for me.
It's a lot flakier than usual. It is good. It's a good meal.
Mm-hmm.